In a world filled with mystery and wonder, the universe has once again captivated the attention of humanity. For decades, scientists have been scanning the universe for signs of extraterrestrial life, and finally, it seems like they may have found something truly extraordinary. NASA, the world's leading space agency, has just announced that a massive object in space has started sending radio messages to Earth. The implications of this discovery could change everything we know about our place in the universe. The experts at NASA have been tirelessly working to decipher these messages while the world holds its breath in anticipation. Could this be a message from an intelligent civilization light years away? Or is it something far more mysterious and inexplicable? One thing is for sure, the implications of this discovery are monumental, and we're about to dive deep into what it all means. So join us as we unravel the mysteries behind this enigmatic object and delve into the tantalizing possibility that we may not be alone in the universe after all. The vastness of the final frontier is truly mind-boggling. The observable universe is estimated to be about 93 billion light-years in diameter, but even that is just a tiny fraction of the entire universe. Scientists and astronomers have only explored a small fraction of this vast expanse, leaving much of it shrouded in mystery. Despite our limited knowledge of space, the possibility of discovering extraterrestrial life has always been a driving force for space exploration. The idea that there may be life forms that are completely unrelated to humanity out there is both thrilling and frightening. It raises questions about our place in the universe and what other intelligent beings may be out there. With the limitations of human exploration, NASA and other space agencies have developed sophisticated tools to help detect any signs of life beyond Earth. These tools include specialized telescopes and highly advanced alert systems that can detect radio signals and other anomalies from distant galaxies. These systems have allowed us to learn more about the universe than we ever could have imagined. One example was when scientists detected radio signals from a galaxy almost 9 billion light-years away. These signals were so strong that they were detected by NASA's alert systems, leading scientists to study and calculate their origin. The discovery was record-breaking, marking the first time that such a signal had been detected from such a long distance. The signal was also the first confirmed detection of strong lensing of 21-centimeter emission from a massive object. Astronomers at NASA considered these findings to be significant as they could help them to better understand the properties of dark matter and dark energy, which are two of the greatest mysteries in modern astrophysics. According to NASA, this radio signals that its alert systems picked up from a distant galaxy were picked up by a radio telescope called the Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope, GMRT, in India. This telescope is one of the world's most sensitive radio telescopes and can detect even the weakest signals from distant galaxies. When the radio signals were first detected, scientists were baffled as to their origin. They knew the signals were not coming from any known source, such as a star or a black hole. This led to a great deal of speculation about the possibility of the signals being of extraterrestrial origin. But further study of the signals revealed that a massive black hole at the center of the distant galaxy likely caused them. This black hole was so massive that it was causing intense radiation to be emitted from its surroundings, which was picked up by the GMRT. And while the discovery of these signals has not definitively confirmed the existence of extraterrestrial life, NASA acknowledges that it has added to the growing body of evidence that suggests that we may not be alone in the universe. Interestingly, a team of researchers at NASA have also discovered that this strange signal likewise appears to be emanating from the direction of Proxima Centauri. According to these scientists, this is one signal that could not be dismissed as a mere interference from Earth. This signal had a distinct techno-signature that suggested it was not of natural origin. As it stands, efforts are ongoing to find out if it's coming from an alien civilization. The signal's techno-signature was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before, and it suggested that the aliens who sent it were incredibly advanced. NASA had been monitoring the star system for signs of extraterrestrial life for years, and their effort now appears to have finally paid off. With ongoing research into these signals, speculations are already rife regarding their real purpose. While some scientists at NASA have speculated that they could be a message of peace from our alien neighbors who are clearly more advanced than us, Some other groups have warned that it could be a warning of some kind. Perhaps the aliens had detected some catastrophic event that was headed toward Earth and was trying to warn us. Another speculation has been that the signal might contain a blueprint for some incredible technology that could revolutionize the world. But here's what's more interesting. The signal's location in the Proxima Centauri system has a lot of fascinating secrets to it that scientists at NASA are just beginning to fully comprehend. You see, the star has a rocky planet in its habitable zone, known as Proxima b, which could potentially support life. The fact that the signal was coming from such a close star system, and one with a potentially habitable planet, raised the astounding possibility that we might be on the verge of discovering extraterrestrial life. But there are also concerns by some experts that the signals could be a trap set by a hostile alien race bent on invading Earth, or it could possibly contain a virus or some other harmful technology that could be used against us. Scientist Andrew Siemian and his University of California team spent several months studying the signal. They found that it had some unique properties that made it very different from anything they had ever seen before. They found it had a very low signal-to-noise ratio, making it difficult to detect. The signal had a very narrow radio spectrum band, which was an area usually devoid of transmissions from human-made satellites and spacecraft. This fact alone was enough to raise more curiosity about the signal. To make things even more interesting, the signal passed many of the team's astronomical checks, making it even more mysterious. In Siemian's own words, "We are not aware of any natural way to compress electromagnetic energy into a single bit, and with a frequency such as this." As the team of scientists led by Siemian continued their analysis of the mysterious signal, they discovered more intriguing details about its properties. They found that the signal was highly polarized, meaning its electric field vibrated in a specific direction. This property of the signal is highly unusual for a natural source and suggests that it could be artificially created. Additionally, the signal had a periodicity of 16.35 days, meaning that it repeated every 16.35 days. This periodicity added another layer of complexity to the mystery and led the team to speculate that the signal might be coming from an orbiting object with a highly eccentric orbit. But as they dug deeper into the data, the team also realized that the signal's intensity varied over time, with occasional higher intensity bursts. These bursts were highly irregular and did not follow any discernible pattern, which made them even more mysterious. This resulted in the team considering the possibility that the signal could result from interference from human-made objects such as satellites or spacecraft. However, the narrow radio spectrum band and other unique signal properties made it highly unlikely that it resulted from human activity. Siemian also hypothesized that the signal could be the result of an exotic quirk of plasma physics, as there was no known natural way to compress electromagnetic energy into such a narrow radio spectrum band. However, he cautioned that this was just a theory and that more research was needed to determine the source of the incredibly concentrated radio waves. The project that detected the signal, Breakthrough Listen, was a massive undertaking led by Siemian and supported financially by billionaire Yuri Milner. The project aimed to search the skies for evidence of technological civilizations by observing radio telescopes worldwide, was launched in 2015 with a star-studded announcement that included the late Stephen Hawking and other space science heavyweights. Since then, it has continued to search the universe for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence, making detecting this mysterious signal a potentially significant development in astrobiology. Jason Wright, an eccentric astronomer at Penn State University, has been another highly vocal proponent of this discovery. His comment on the signal has especially generated a great deal of excitement in the scientific community. According to him, many people don't realize that the signal's discovery was not a sudden event. In actual fact, scientists and astronomers have been collecting data on Proxima Centauri, the red dwarf star that is the closest to our own sun, for several years. The data collection process began in April 2019, when a team of scientists partnered with Breakthrough Listen in search of extraterrestrial intelligence. The team used the Parkes radio telescope in Australia to observe Proxima Centauri for any signs of flares. The goal was to understand how these flares might disrupt the planets in the system, particularly Proxima b, which was discovered in 2016. Proxima b is almost 1.2 times larger than Earth and has an 11-day orbit. It was during this data collection process that the alluring signal was detected. The signal was unlike anything the team had seen before, and it seemed to be coming from somewhere other than Earth. This led to speculation that the signal might be evidence of extraterrestrial technology. But despite the excitement that has accompanied the discovery of this signal, scientists have remained cautious. They know that there are many potential explanations for the signal, and they continue to analyze the data to determine its source. And in addition to the team at Breakthrough Listen, researchers from the SETI Institute, the Max Planck Institute for Astronomy, and other organizations have been involved in the analysis. Evidently, the biggest challenge in analyzing this signal has been that it is incredibly faint. As a matter of fact, it was detected by a single antenna at the Parkes radio telescope in Australia, which makes it difficult to determine its exact source. To get a better idea of where the signal might be coming from, scientists use interferometry, a special technique combining data from multiple telescopes to create a more detailed image. But another interesting aspect of the Proxima Centauri system is the presence of a second planet, Proxima c, which was discovered in 2019. This planet is much larger than Proxima b, and it orbits the star at a distance that is farther than any planet in our solar system orbits the Sun. Scientists are still studying Proxima c to try to understand its characteristics and whether it could potentially support life. This finding could also go a long way in helping to unravel the mystery of this mysterious signal. But quite interestingly, the discovery of the alluring signal has also sparked renewed interest in the concept of interstellar travel. And while we may not have the technology to travel to other star systems yet, the discovery of a potential extraterrestrial signal has led some researchers to consider the possibility of sending a message back to Proxima Centauri. Of course, this raises a number of ethical questions, and many researchers are hesitant to send any kind of message until we have a better understanding of what the signal actually is. Sophia Sheikh, a brilliant and enthusiastic SETI researcher from Penn State University, oversaw the subsequent analysis of the signal for the Breakthrough Listen project. She had been doing this for several years, spending countless hours poring over data from radio telescopes and sifting through the background noise for any indication of extraterrestrial intelligence before this history-making signal was ultimately stumbled upon. After this mysterious signal survived the barrage of tests it was put through, which were specifically designed to weed out any terrestrial interference, Sophia and her team tagged it Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1 with the formal name of BLC-1. But they knew they had to investigate further to ensure that the signal came from deep space, not from some earthly originated interference. So they turned back to the telescope and scanned the skies for 30 minutes over the course of a week. They used a procedure called nodding, which involved pointing the telescope at a target and then looking elsewhere in the sky for a similar amount of time. And finally, after weeks of analysis, they were left with one conclusion. The signal was most likely of extraterrestrial origin. And as the Breakthrough Listen team continued to analyze the BLC-1 signal, they discovered that it was not just a one-time event. Instead, it appeared to be a repeating pattern of radio waves coming from the direction of Proxima Centauri with surprising regularity. This discovery only added to the signal's excitement, suggesting that whatever produced it was a stable and predictable source. This made it even more unlikely that the signal was just random noise or interference. Plus, its lack of modulation or information-carrying tweaks only added to the mystery. It was also discovered that the signal was not just a simple burst of radio waves, but a complex pattern of frequencies that seemed to defy any natural explanation. While it clearly came in bursts and was dotted by long periods of silence in between, this was likewise not the kind of behavior they would expect from a natural source, which would produce a more continuous signal. These observations led the team to consider some wild and intriguing possibilities. Could the signal be coming from a massive alien structure, such as a Dyson sphere or a megastructure that was partially blocking the star's light? Or perhaps it was a sign of an alien civilization using some kind of advanced communication technology that was beyond our current understanding. Yuri Milner, the tech billionaire who funded the Breakthrough Listen project, was intrigued by the possibilities presented by BLC-1. He was convinced that this was not just another false alarm, and he encouraged his team to pursue every avenue of research possible. Months of intense analysis followed as the team sought to rule out any possible natural sources for the signal. They combed through vast amounts of data, looking for any patterns or correlations that might suggest an explanation. They even considered the possibility that the signal was a product of some previously unknown physical phenomenon, such as a type of cosmic radiation. But despite the many intriguing ideas that were floated, the Breakthrough Listen team remained committed to a rigorous scientific approach to the problem. They knew the signal could still have a perfectly natural explanation, and they were determined to rule out all other possibilities before jumping to conclusions. But as the months passed and the data piled up, the team became increasingly fascinated by the enigmatic BLC-1 signal. The team found itself especially astounded by the signal's incredibly narrow bandwidth all over again. This was because, unlike most signals that spread out over a range of frequencies, BLC-1 was incredibly focused on a single frequency. This precision suggested that it was not a natural phenomenon, but rather a deliberate communication. Interestingly, the team also noted that the signal's strength was remarkably consistent over time. Even as the frequency drifted, the signal remained just as intense as ever, with no discernible drop-off in power. This suggested that whatever was producing the signal was incredibly consistent, a rare attribute in natural phenomena. But the location of the signal remained what the scientists at NASA found the most intriguing still. With the Proxima Centauri being a small dim star that is barely visible to the naked eye, and also being surrounded by a cluster of other stars that make it even more difficult to observe, the fact that the signal had been detected at all was a testament to how strong and focused the signal was. This made the team even more acutely aware of the implications of their discovery. If the BLC-1 signal were indeed extraterrestrial communication, it would be one of the most significant discoveries in human history. It would undoubtedly prove that we were not alone in the universe and that other civilizations could communicate across vast distances of space. Space experts worldwide became optimistic about the signal's potential as an extraterrestrial communication. They believed that if it were indeed an ETI, it would eventually be replicable by independent teams using different equipment. But they were also aware of the possibility that it might be a one-off event never to be repeated. However, despite all their efforts, the team remained stumped, and the BLC-1's origins remained shrouded in mystery. It had become more than just a scientific puzzle. It was a potential window into a world beyond our own, a glimpse of the vast and mysterious universe that lay beyond our planet's atmosphere. And in their hearts, they could not help but wonder if BLC-1 might be something truly extraordinary. A message from the stars, sent by an alien intelligence millions of light years away. In a similar event, astronomers have detected a fast radio burst, FRB, coming from inside the Milky Way, the first time it has been detected within our galaxy. FRBs are fleeting, bright flashes of radio light lasting for microseconds to milliseconds that occur in the sky daily. Scientists have built up a knowledge bank about FRBs, but their origins remain a mystery. With the discovery of this FRB, scientists are getting nearer to discovering its origin. The tools that detected this signal proved essential, especially the Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment, which has become the main observer of FRBs. It has quickly become extraordinary, with a correlator supercomputer processing 13 terabits of raw data per second to create a radio map of the sky. Scientists have dramatically improved the mission to detect far-off FRBs over the past few years, and will continue to do so. However, despite the uncertainties surrounding its origin and true purpose, BLC-1 remains one of the most intriguing signals ever detected by any SETI program. It is comparable in its significance to the legendary WOW signal of 1977. NASA's team of scientists and astronomers is now hopeful that future observations will shed more light on its mysterious origins, and perhaps even reveal the existence of intelligent life beyond our solar system. Thanks for watching another episode of Voyager. While you are still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more quality content.